Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Muhammad Eka Yuliartana, and currently I am studying at IPMI International Business School, class of September 2023. Today, I would like to share to you about mind mapping. It's particularly similar, like sharing what I have been studying in the class of corporate finance. In this class, we were tutored by Professor Roy Sambel. He is a very, very nice, great, humble gentleman, and it's been a wonderful class we have with him. And one thing that I do remember about him is that he always said, do not be afraid to make mistakes, because by making mistakes, you know that you are going somewhere. By learning mistake, you are getting bigger than before. In this class, I have learned about approximately about 6 items. The first one, in the first day of the class, we have financial management. And the second class, we have capital budgeting. The third class is analysis of securities. The fourth is capital structures. The fifth, fraud risk management. And the last is portfolio investment simulations. In financial management, we are discussing about the goal of financial management. We also studying about principal agent problem, good corporate governance, 5 business essentials, and the last one is the finance concept. In the goal of financial management, we have about 4 objective point of view, starting from the basic objective, operational objective, social objectives, and the last one is research objective. Down to the very first beginning and the most, the oldest objectives that every company should have is like basic objective, which is profit maximizations and wealth maximizations. By doing these two, we are hoping to get significant and sustainable value creation. We also study about principal agent problem. Principal agent problem, like what I have mentioned earlier before, we need to maximize profit and maximize shareholder wealth. How do we do that? We are doing it by hire a manager or hire anyone that we believe that we trust in order to run the company. Now, the problem happens when the manager or the person that we hire did not perform as our expectations. What will happen then? It means that we're going to have agent problem, principal problem, starting from different conflict of interest. The managers and us as the owner, we have different agenda, asymmetric info. They know informations that we do not, and they are not sharing the informations, everything informations clearly, and all the way down to moral hazards and lead to adverse selections. And how do we overcome these conditions? Well, the solutions to principal agent problem is like, the first one, we can make the manager's compensations reflecting the share prices. So what they do, we pay them, we compensate them based on the goals that they have achieved, which was driven by our goals. And the second one is stock options. And the third one is like, obviously, we always able to, unemploy the managers that did not perform well. And automatically we are taking over the company. And the last one, last but not least, is GCG, which is good corporate governance. What is good corporate governance? 5 aspects of good corporate governance. The first aspect is transparency. The next one is accountability, responsibility, independency, and fairness. Transparency basically means that we are doing transparent in managing businesses. And accountability, it means providing reliable information. Responsibility is, of course, we need to responsible on every impact of our decisions in the business activity. And independency means conflict of interest free, no COI at all. And the last one is fairness, which is managing the business in the most effective and efficient way. All these five aspects of good corporate governance will lead us to more prudent management according to the mandate given, sustainable performance improvement, better corporate image, and of course, the last but not least, we are also making a good value creation. The next thing we've learned is 5 business essentials based on the books written by Professor Ram Charan, which is the book called What the CEO Wants You to Know. Basically, there are 5 items that the CEO wants us to know. First one is cash, profit margins, velocity, growth, and customer focus. This is main 5 items that really essential and crucial for every business to gain or to achieve. So I think it's best if we hire a manager or for everyone who are running a business company to get familiar or to achieve these 5 items. And we are also learning about 4 cornerstones of corporate finance, which is basically in terms to create value creations. We need to have these 4 aspects. The first one on the top left is core of value principles, which is value that is driven by returns on capital and growth and also cash flows. And also the principle of conservation of value principle. We cannot create any value just by rearranging claims on cash flow. We need to really earn a new activity that create cash flow. And we also have the bottom left is expectation of treadmill principle. Roughly, it means that more investor expect share price. It means that the more better performance that we have, we need to keep up with the investor wish. And the last one is the best owner principle. Business value depends on who owns or manages the business. So what the manager or what the owner do, it reflects on the business value. And we also had learning about the finance concept. 3 most important things in finance. The first one is cash, the second is cash, and the third one is more cash. And in these lessons, we are studying about the time value of money, which basically says that $1 today is worth much more than $1 tomorrow or any other times in the future. And of course, the cash is king. It means that in terms of revenue or income, always choose cash payment than any other forms of payment. It will speed the cash into our company. And incremental cash flow, it means that in every investing decisions, we need to make sure that the project will bring more money in than money out. The next one, we are learning about capital budgeting. Capital budgeting, the definition is a process that businesses use to evaluate major projects or investments. So before we decide to choose a project, we need to evaluate each and every single project just to make sure that it will gain money or it will cost us more than we invest. And the benefits by doing this by capital budgeting is that to make sure that the company will sustain for a long time by counting the cash or the profit that the company will receive. And how do we do that? What kind of the ratio or formula that we use? We can use payback period, net present value, probability index, or internal rate of return. We are also learning about the capital structure. What is capital structure? Basically, capital structure means the particular combinations of debt and equity that used by a company to finance its overall operations and growth. So the Equity capital arises from ownership, shares a company, and claims to its future cash flow and profits. Debt comes in the form of bond issues or loans, while equity may come in forms like common stocks, preferred stock, or retained earning. Short-term debt is also considered to be part of the capital structures. Debt-to-equity ratio is the most common ratio used by any investor to measure the healthy level of the company. The key is finding the perfect ratio of debt and equity. It will absolutely can boost the performance of the company. We also learn about fraud risk management. In fraud risk management, we know occupational fraud and abuse. Basically, it refers to the fraud committed by an organization employees, and this kind of fraud can be put into 3 categories, which is asset misappropriations, corruptions, and a financial statement fraud. What is asset misappropriations? It came from cash and inventory and other assets. And corruptions, of course, there always can be form of conflict of interest, bribery, illegal gratuities, and also economic extortions. And the fraudulent statements, it means like fraud in financials or non-financials. How to prevent fraud? Basically, we can always build an employee ethics, and we can always write SOPs that have to be followed if fraud, just in case if fraud is detected or suspected to happen. When we also need to train our employees to increase their awareness for any fraud, for any possible of fraud, including from the financial aspect, IT security, procedures, and etc. And we also need to have protective security, which is hardware and both software. We need to strengthen our computerized. And the last but not least, we also can create whistleblower mechanisms, which is basically we can report anyone if we suspected that anyone is doing anything illegal or any corruptions. And the last, we are studying about portfolio investment simulations. In the beginning of the class, each group was given about $1 billion, 1 Indonesian rupiah, 1 billion, to be invested in share. Each group or each students are given choices to choose just one share in the market. And by the end of the class, we are counting how are we doing with that money that have given to us. It's either getting higher, or it means getting profit, or it's getting lower, or it means that we are losing this money. And in our group, in my group, we choose like 5 shares, and from basically on the week 8, that was earlier is only 1 billion, and it ended up with 1,066,033,000, which means that we gain much more money than we have invested earlier. I think that is the last of my presentations in mind map. Last but not least, I would like to say thank you to IPMI for providing the class, and of course to Professor Roy for giving us much knowledge and knowledge, and then his experience, everything that he has given us on this class. And the last, I'm hoping everyone to stay happy, stay healthy, and goodbye till we meet again. Thank you.